Hey guys, Cdrama Invasion here. Haven't posted for a while. Hope you guys enjoyed your holidays, the New Year's, all of that. As you know, I got sick, so I apologize for not being able to post anything, but I fully recovered and now I'm ready to go. Although I have so many top 10s, worst, best, and award show videos coming. I wanted to talk about the Zhao Lusi situation first and have it all in just one big video for you guys because I've been seeing so many different updates, but I finally was able to put all of the details into this video. So let's just go into it. It's very heartbreaking and it sucks that we're talking about it basically right after the new year, but this all started. I'm going to start with the present timeline and then we're going to go backwards to the root of the problem because her friends and herself, they all spoke up about a lot of things that was ongoing throughout her life, and it all compiled to being important to why her hospitalization and her medical condition is just worsening year after year. So let's start with, I guess, December 14th. This is when her fan club, who keeps daily updates, and they're there in China in her filming locations. They're there in live time. They're wondering why she looks so frail. So this has been them buzzing about it online. They take some photos of her and things like that, and they're just keeping an eye on her. A lot of them even protested, saying that they saw her very sick on December 14th. She couldn't walk and even had to be helped in a wheelchair using an oxygen tube. And then she came back to filming after that night. So basically she already had a situation and had to go to the hospital, which was already raising the alarm bells in these fans. And they're like, what's going on? But she pushed herself and continued to film at that night. They said that it looks like they kept on changing a lot of the script, making her spend hours and hours there. She was left alone with her assistant and bodyguard, sick and waiting for hours to be picked up by a car provided by the Almost Lover team. This whole drama production is very important and problematic. We'll get into that. So from the 14th to 17th, they kept on stating that the same situation would happen. It looks like she's very sick, but they kept on pushing her, no big breaks, and they still kept on changing the scripts, failed to communicate, and you can see her be physically uncomfortable, needing oxygen, and just even walking very unsteadily. Then on the 18th, that's when she was rushed to the ER, when she was collapsed on set and hospitalized till this date. Her body finally gave out, unfortunately, after all of that. And on the 19th, it was silent. We saw that leaked picture. I'm not going to post it up because it's not the one that she and her friends posted. So I don't think you should, because it looks like she wanted it to be a quiet situation. Her studio on the 19th, everybody was asking because we're freaking out. Those photos went viral where she's in that wheelchair and it looks like she's just passed out. Her studio didn't care at all. They didn't say anything, zero comments. And they were actually busy charging fans tickets to a January 5th fan meeting, which is obviously now canceled. And it looks like they thought it was just another thing to them. It was just like the 14th where she's just gonna go, faint, maybe come back in a day or two and continue. And that's just so telling of how poorly she's treated by her staff in her studio. And allegedly, to make things worse, there were so many malicious people at this time talking about Zhao Lusi, and it just made the whole thing confusing because they were spreading misinformation that she went to get a manicure and all of these things, and everybody's like, what's going on? Why are they trying to ruin her reputation? They were literally saying yo, you guys think it's serious, but it's not. She's out here getting a manicure. It was giving that type of energy, and her studio once again said nothing and did not defend her at all. Her friends and family then posted that she is learning to walk and move her limbs again. That's a short version. We're going to go into it, but I still want to discuss how basically everyone's saying that this is a Yin Yang contract situation. Yin Yang contract is known as a document that creates this agreement. So on paper, something happens, but they're switching it up and presenting a different one to the tax authorities with the lower amount, also known as tax evasion. So it looks like she was scammed or set up by her company who might have known. This is all alleged, by the way, because they're saying they're suing, and I'm like, okay, but literally it looks so suspicious, guys. The way that they kept on changing things up, and there were like so many witnesses to it. All of her fan clubs were saying that it's a fake drama shoot because they kept on changing the schedules. And tell me why the real drama or the real drama crew, they're saying that it didn't even happen yet because that's happening somewhere else. They're saying that the male lead was filming in a different place. And yeah, we've seen that before where actors are busy and they film different scenes in separate locations, but it's very weird for them to have them film in completely different places at different times. And it's like there's two separate drama sets right now. That's what's going on. Okay, now we're gonna go into the friends post, and then we're gonna go to Zhao Lusi's comment on everything. So we have Zhao Lusi's friend, who is Wen Xiao. She's the main communicator. They've been friends forever. She revealed the 2019 incident where she's been physically, verbally, and emotionally abused by the people of her company. Stated, "I'm truly furious. These are some things I wanted to reveal as her good friend. Back in 2019, something happened. I've been keeping it in my heart for so long. It wasn't until I came to Hangzhou and saw her sitting in a wheelchair looking incredibly frail and thin that I fully realized the weight of it. Although I wasn't involved in what happened this time and can't speak about it, I told her that these emotions cannot be bottled up. They need to be expressed and released. And we talked and talked. We revisited the incident in 2019 and it became clear she was never truly able to let go," saying that she's traumatized by that situation. And since that's the case, even if it means being criticized or misunderstood, it's better to speak out. So what happened was it was actually her manager that dragged her into a toilet, like a washroom stall, and just bullied her, berated her physically and mentally for 2 to 3 hours. Lusi posted around that time on NetEase's Cloud Music. This was April 23rd, 2019, like right after that happened. People digged up this comment and said, oh, she was definitely, like, it lines up, the timeline, and that's what she meant by this comment. So this is that comment. It says, quote, "I've been shocked and hurt by people's small malicious acts, but also cried happy tears because of small acts of kindness. Those little kindnesses are more powerful than we think. Spread kindness everywhere. You never know who needs it." This is so heartbreaking because, guys, she was a literal, like, 21-year-old. And I don't know, just being pretty new to the industry, having a company or signing with people that have the most control over you and they do the most malicious things to you. She really gaslit herself as well and just chose kindness. She buried all these emotions and kind of gaslit herself to thinking like, it's fine, they're doing it for my own good. But deep down, it hurt her until this day. And in 2020, we also see her breaking down on the set of one of her dramas where she completely forgot her own birthday because she's just working so hard. When her friends Xiaoxin and Zhang Xiaomin threw a surprise birthday party, she cried a lot. And this happened recently, I think last year, when she was on the set of Pearl Girl. Somebody said, "You're so beautiful," or something like that. Like, her fans were just really cheering her up. And she was bawling her eyes out because she appreciates these small kindnesses, because sometimes she's just spiraling or just so caught up in the work, the pain, the cyberbullying, like all of that. It's just terrible. Her ex-manager actually had the audacity to demand a contract breaking free after she finally got out of this situation. And we also know that she was very controlling and had almost all the say over a lot of her dramas that she had to take. And one of them she was very uncomfortable with because there was a bed scene and she felt like she was younger and didn't want to do it. So her media agency is called KU Media Agency and Studio. Basically, they were still silent until she posted the final thing. Then they came out and said the basic, that they're going to be suing people who are lying, all of these things, and they're saying that they have her best interests at heart. Literally sounds like textbook PR, copy and pasted, zero authenticity or just remorse, because honestly they could have done better. It really sounds like they don't care. I will link you guys this thread of the English translated post. There's a lot of other details. Let me go through some of the main ones. Song Nanshi, one of her best friends, posted about her crying for help. Zhao Lusi said, "I don't know why they hit me. I'm really scared." All of that is just from 2019, that incident, and how much she carried with her. Now let's move to the present timeline. And this is where we have speculations that her diagnosis is aphasia. And this is a nervous system condition, so it matches the situation and it slows your function. So speech, mouth motor movements, and that makes sense. She's been having a hard time with speaking, eating, and walking, moving in general. It's very heartbreaking. And after all of this came out, she got a lot of courage and support. Her friends and family are there with her. Her closest friends have been dancing, cheering her on, and taking care of her every day, carrying her when she needs it, eating with her. It's very sweet, but it's really the saddest thing ever. If you search it up, she posted a mini clip of it on New Year's. But she also recently posted a diagnosis. So it's a photo and it's in Chinese, but the English translation is dissociative conversion disorder with anxiety. Treatment, it says BMI is under 18.5. So malnutrition is identified and she needs to be referred to the nutrition department. Anxiety and psychological counseling are also part of her treatment, as well as eating regularly, managing emotions, and also prescribe different medications for her. Now the long-awaited post on Weibo. I am going to read it word to word, like the English translation, and I'll also put a link in the description box if you want to go back and read it yourself. So she says, first and last response to recent events. Apologies for taking up public resources. Before this, I never let my illness affect my work or those around me. I also admit my own problems because I tend to endure. It's only during the past half month that I realize I'm not as generous or forgiving at heart as I thought. So I also bear some responsibility. I freaking hate that she has to still apologize for absolutely nothing. Anyways, I'm gonna try to refrain from here on out because I don't want to make it confusing, and I'll just comment at the end. But she also says, my career has brought me more help and support than I could have ever imagined, and I'm truly grateful and I feel fortunate. This has helped me understand all the misunderstandings. I support anyone's rights to choose their desired career at any time because you always have the right to escape situations that bring suffering and exhaustion. You can stop anytime. You are free and you can be brave. I also understand that everyone has faced grievances with injustices. I've heard far too many horrifying stories when there is no help, and the abuser continues to escalate. Regardless of profession, age, or gender, this is wrong. Forcing someone to reopen their wounds to prove it's not overthinking, it's not weak resilience, or it's not dissatisfaction is absurd. No one but the doctor has the right to determine the severity of somebody's trauma or whether if it qualifies as an illness. In 2019, I experienced depression. People told me don't overthink it, or if you think positively, everything will be okay. I also thought I was being dramatic. I thought I was sensitive, and I didn't take my mental health seriously. This continued, and in 2021, I felt like bugs were crawling all over me, like needles were prickling at me, accompanied by allergies. After seeing doctors, getting medications, and receiving injections, these symptoms didn't improve. I sought out psychologists to ease my anxiety. In 2023, I experienced pneumonia, emphysema. This is a chronic lung disease, and it damages the air sacs in your lungs, making it difficult to breathe. Pityriasis rosea. This is a rash that is kind of an oval shaped, and it can last from weeks to months. Night sweats, neurogenic hearing loss, and cancer diagnoses among my family members. All these events happened in this short period, over 1 year, overshadowing my emotions. So I continued to neglect my health and my mental health. In 2024, it got worse. Frequent retching, dizziness, joint pain, neck pain, and other physical symptoms that appeared with worsening allergies. I thought these were normal side effects of these allergy medications, so I ignored it. When I was a child, people called me a useless pretty face. During extracurricular tutoring, I was beaten by the dormitory teacher. At that time, I thought it was right to be punished because they had my good intentions in mind. I didn't dare to speak out because I was taught to always find the problem within yourself. When I grew up, I got hit again for not securing an acting role. I thought it was my fault, so I didn't dare make a fuss. I just wanted to escape. I was used to handling my problems alone, and I didn't have the habit of seeking help. Later, when my work was recognized, I gained courage to say goodbye to those who hurt me. In the end, the person demanded a huge breakup fee before they were able to stop their manipulative behavior. Countless defamation attempts inside and outside the industry followed, with people coming to me gossiping in my face. Each time the pain only deepened, the harms would never stop. The wounds grew bigger. I understand that I don't have the right to everything or to want anything, nor can I demand that friends and family or a company be perfect. The fact that they haven't hurt me and have tried their best to protect me is more than enough. I think she's talking more about, like, obviously there's good friends or there's like good people in the company, and then there's bad ones. And she's saying like that's kind of part of the reason why it's complicated as well. And yeah, she also said, I've never spoken about my illness because I didn't want to turn it into this popularity or this hype topic. I want to share this more so people can understand depression is an emotion, but depression is also a condition. It can be a disease. It's not simply think positively and you can talk it out. It's not like that. To those who relate to me so much in such circumstances, whether you truly understood no longer matters. What matters is breaking free of this endless cycle, proving to yourself and finding a way to save yourself. Understanding mental health and prioritizing psychological treatment is truly important. Regret is useless. Treat this as a special time to overturn your inner conflicts and rebuild yourself. I'm grateful for everyone who cares. Because of love, I get to live again. Wishing everyone Happy New Year and daily happiness. Oh my gosh, you guys, so emotional. Her friends also posted like a little TikTok clip of her, and she's always smiling even when she's hurting inside. And her friends are really sweet. They're like dancing, they're doing all these things. She's been posting actively on Weibo, so definitely check those out, or check her fan blogs and pages that does English translation. I tear up every single time I read her post. It's so sad. And like after knowing the timeline and her friend's perspective too, there's this photo of her friends just bawling her eyes out after seeing her, and it's the most real and heartbreaking thing. And I really feel bad for them too, because a lot of them are not that popular. They are in the entertainment industry, but many of them spoken out and said they didn't want to talk about Zhao Lusi because they didn't want to look like they're just using her name or they're just using her popularity, that type of thing. So it's very complicated, but the thing that matters is they're with her and she's taking time off. I hope she rest for a very, very, very long time. I hope she hangs out with the people who love her after this, go on a big, long vacation, and maybe switch companies. Because she is just, oh my gosh, it's the most heartbreaking thing. She didn't even go into details, but just listing all of those diagnoses, everything she's went through, and ignoring all of those physical conditions just to take care of people around her just shows how much kindness she has. Also, very brave, because 100% having somebody her caliber being treated like this makes me, I know the industry is dark, but like she is the top girl, you know? And I'm like terrified about the other top actresses and what they're dealing with behind closed doors, because we know all of them are like overworked. This was an emotional one. Let me know if I missed any details, and do like let us know in the comments below. I will be keeping up to date with this. The rest of it, I guess I'll just continue updating you guys in these shorter videos, because it looks like that's the end of it. She says it was her last update. We're probably going to get some more photos of her recovering and stuff, so that's good. She's also learning to eat again, and apparently has to learn like how a baby eats. Just learning how to use like those easier to handle utensils again. So heartbreaking that somebody in their prime can suffer like this in public, and we really didn't know. She literally cried for help for so many times, and I'm glad that this is the decision that she made, that she can tell her own story without holding back. That's very powerful. I'm so proud of her, and I guess this is why you should never post like malicious comments online, because even though you think like, oh, they're probably not going to see it, what if they do? What if they do? And it hits different when you are already like low self-esteem or like going through so much. So I'm sure it's been hard for her. She's been dealing with a lot of that as well. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. A little bit late, but happy new year, guys. Hope you all have the best year and we get to enjoy all these fun upcoming dramas together. I'm excited. Lots of fun stuff coming. So make sure to subscribe if you're interested in anything Chinese drama, Chinese news related. And I'll see you guys in the next one.